In this video, we visit 4 springs along the Swanee River near Chiefland, Florida. Not the best day to be out exploring. We're in Manatee Springs, Florida, and this is the Swanee River State Park, and behind me is the original Swanee River Bridge over the Swanee River. I'm staying at a campground called Swanee River Bend Campground, and it's right where there's a bend in the river. So I'll be exploring several of the springs today and tomorrow and this weekend, and hopefully the weather will get better. It's overcast right now. It's supposed to rain today and tomorrow and be cold, but that's better than in Raleigh, North Carolina, where they're getting snow today, and Myrtle Beach, where they're getting ice. They're having a winter storm come through today, so we're just on the cooler and rainy end of that here in Florida. I find the sign humorous. Do not swim with alligators. Immediately report alligator sightings in the swimming area to park staff. Pretty funny. We're going to walk down the steps here to the Swanee River and check out this area down here, and hopefully we won't encounter any alligators. I'm guessing this is intended more as a canoe and kayak launching area, although the steps here go right into the water. Maybe this is the swimming area, and the floating dock out there is more for launching kayaks or tying up boats to visit the park from the water. Apparently Manatee Springs has a couple of entrances. This is the state park, and next door is like a paid swim area. We'll go check that out and see what that's about. It's only going to be 60 today, so that's too cold to go swimming, but I bet in the spring and summer a nice cool spring would be refreshing. Okay, this is an overview of Manatee Springs. The site that I was at next door is kind of strange. It's like a little day use park, but this is the actual state park here, and there's an entrance fee required. But there's a spring, which I suppose is swimming permitted down there, and there's canoe launch areas and everything. So we'll be checking it out. There's a little boardwalk behind me here, and building where they have snacks and food and stuff in the summer, but being wintertime, it's off season. So we're going to go down the steps here to a little boardwalk and check that out. Got a floating dock over here. Okay, we have the floating dock and the spring out that way, and a wooden boardwalk out this way. So let's go check this out. If there were any alligators in here, I guarantee you they'd be in this swampy, boggy area here. They say there are manatees sighted in this area, so I'll have to watch for that later when I get down on the floating dock. They have some beautiful cypress out through here with what they call cypress knees coming up through the water. I'll have to come back with my camera and get some pictures of this. It's beautiful right out through here. Floating dock is off to the left, and the boardwalk continues on for a ways over here. Okay, we've got steps leading down here to a trail and what looks like maybe a little canoe launch or kayak area, place to dock your boat there and walk up through the park. Oh, here's a beautiful area of the swamp with all the mangrove leaves sticking up and some kind of little algae growing on the surface. Nice little covered area here. We'll have to fix a lunch and come back and have a little picnic here. This will be a good place to hang out and get my good camera and really focus on some of these swamp views here. I guess swamp is not the right name, but kind of a flooded area with all of the cypress. Well, I suppose this is the swimming area. They have a couple of ramps coming right down into the water, and apparently there are mullet out here that like to jump. That's pretty interesting. I've never known that before, but there's one that has come through and jumped 3 times. So I'm guessing if manatees come in, they would also come into this area. And there's a school of mullet right down there in the water. I don't know if you'll be able to see them with the reflections. So I asked some people that were walking here if this was the swimming area, and they said it wasn't their kind of swimming area with all the algae and kind of scum on top. It's not everybody's cup of tea. So this is Fanning Springs. Same day, different place. This is Manatee Springs. We came down here with the expectation of seeing some manatees. We were told there were a couple of manatees down here. So far I don't see any, but it's a big place, so we're going to walk around and explore this area a little bit. So far all we see is a bunch of buzzards. They're all standing up here on the fences and hopping around on the ground, perched in the tree. And over here across the way in the trees must be 100 or more, and still no manatees. So we're going to keep looking. We'll have fun chasing buzzards if nothing else. They appear to be feasting on something over here. Oh, we got a dead raccoon. They've picked it almost clean. They have a nice wooden boardwalk here in Manatee Springs. And we have a couple manatees out there, but they're too far away to really see. And with overcast skies, there's a lot of reflections. So I don't think we'll have much to look at here. There's a beautiful boardwalk, goes on for quite a ways. We'll have a look out here. So this might be a good place to stand and watch for a few minutes. I guess this goes on down to the main river. There's some boaters down that way. And they have a barricade up here that keeps the boaters out of the swimming area. This boardwalk goes all the way out to a fishing dock out on the main channel of the river. And it's probably a quarter of a mile long and zigging and zagging through the trees here. But just a neat little place. Again, this is Manatee Springs. It's been kind of misty, rainy all day long, and will be for the next couple of days. So hopefully next week we'll have a little better weather and get some better photos and something a little more interesting. This is Hart Springs in Florida. It's off season now, so there's nobody here swimming, and they're doing a lot of maintenance and repair. But it's a pretty place. They've got lots of pavilions here and picnic tables and everything for summer guests to enjoy. They call this Little Spring, I think. And over here they call Big Spring. And they have a boardwalk. So we'll go over here and walk out on the boardwalk and see what they have over there. So apparently the water is up and looks like they're having some flooding here, but they said they hope to be open June 1st, I believe. They were closed down last year because of flooding, and that's why all the remodeling, updating, and construction and everything is taking place. Okay, this comes out to the main river here, so you can access it from the river. And if I get the name of the river, I'll have to check that. So Hart Springs is north of Chiefland. That's the closest major city. So the boardwalk comes quite a ways down the river, and this is the Swanee River. Can't believe I forgot what the name of it was. And Hart Springs is north of Old Town and Fanning Springs, and Chiefland is another 10 miles south of Old Town and Fanning Springs. So the boardwalk goes on out here for a ways. So the boardwalk circles around and comes back to the picnic area near where we started. Lots and lots of picnic tables and shelters out here for people to take advantage of in the summer when they're swimming. And that's where we started, over there. So it must go a quarter of a mile or more back into the woods along the river and circle back. I should have been counting my steps to see how far it was. This is Otter Springs, a few miles south from Hart Springs. Looks like they have some flooding issues as well. So we'll walk around and see what's here and where the swimming area is. Okay, this is the swimming area. You can have some access stairs here, and the water is obviously up kind of high. They've got some access stairs on the other side. So they've put in cement and rocks around the edges to stabilize the banks. So we'll walk around to the canoe launch. Over that way where the barriers are in the distance, you may not be able to see. I think it's a canoe launch and access out to the Swanee River. Okay, that's the swimming area back that way. And here's the floats across the spring to prevent people from going into the swimming area with boats. The canoe launch area is right here, and the channel goes on out to the Swanee River. They've got some kayaks for rent here. That's all for this trip.